Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Johnny, and today's video I am going to be showing you the ultimate breed guide, or somewhat ultimate in my opinion, of a breed guide in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shiny and Pearl. So the first thing that I'm going to want to mention is what Pokemon you should capture, and as well as what items you should actually get. So one of the first items that you're gonna actually want to obtain is definitely going to be an Everstone. So what basically the Everstone does, it actually allows you to transfer the IVs from the parent Pokemon, and if it's holding that item and then you leave it at the daycare center, that is one of the items that you're going to want to obtain. Now, in order to obtain an Everstone, they're actually pretty easy to obtain. I personally have found mine in the underground, which by doing a lot of digging, they just tend to appear a lot because they're really common items to get in this game. So that's all you really have to do, is go on the underground and get an Everstone. Now, this item is supposed to be held by a Pokemon and prevent it from evolving, but for some reason it just transfers down the parent's Pokemon into their IVs onto the next one. So if you have a perfect 6 IV parent, you're gonna be able to transfer it down to the Pokemon that you breed in a Pokemon. In order to obtain the Destiny Knot item in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl, you're actually gonna obtain this one in the Victory Road. You have to complete your national. You have to get the complete national dex. You don't have to complete it, but you have to get the national dex first, and you have to beat the Elite Four, and then you have to head over back to Victory Road Cave and swim down the waterfall. And by the entrance, you will see a little entrance that you never were able to access before because there was a NPC character standing there. And in this cave in the Victory Road, once you manage to go to the same area that you were watching on the video, you're gonna want to go ahead and get a Pokeball, and that's where you will obtain a Destiny Knot. Now, that is not only the only option that I have managed to get Destiny Knot. There are several different other ways to get it. For example, you can get it at the Battle Park, I believe, if you have battle points, and sometimes they even appear rarely on the underground as well. So those are several different options that you can actually get it. So just keep looking around and you'll eventually be able to get it. Now, a couple of other things that I would mention before I actually get into the breeding process of this video is that you're gonna want to capture a certain Pokemon. I recommend Marcargo, Magmar, or whichever Pokemon you want to use that has a flame body armor. And this is not really mostly for the breeding aspect of it. If you want to get competitive Pokemon, I basically have this Pokemon with the flame body ability. You're gonna want to have him in your team or in your party, simply because this guy will help you hatch your Pokemon eggs faster. So that's something that you want to consider capturing as a Pokemon, because you want to go ahead and have a Pokemon that's gonna help you hatch the eggs faster. And by hatching the eggs faster, you're really not gonna have a hassle of getting multiple breeds of Pokemon and then hatching them and getting the right natures and getting the right IVs that you want. So you definitely want to capture one of these. I definitely recommend you do. Okay, so the next part is going to be a little bit more different, and it's gonna get a little bit more technical, but not really as technical. If you are familiar with previous Pokemon games, is the Pokemon Ditto. You don't necessarily need Ditto, but this is a lot of the aspects that we as people who are actually breeding competitive Pokemon, they always tend to have a Ditto with 5 IVs or 6 IVs. It all really depends on the IVs that you get, but preferably some people do get 5 IVs Dittos, and 6 IVs are a little bit harder. And in this game, you can actually catch Dittos, but you're gonna catch them in Route 218 next to Kana Live City. And basically what they will allow you to do is basically put in any type of Pokemon that is breedable at the Pokemon Center with a Ditto, and you'll be able to be capturing Dittos constantly there. Some people recommend that you use the Poke Radar, so you can actually get an increased spawn on them with the Poke Radar, but it's really up to your personal decision. You don't really have to, but I would definitely recommend it if you would do. But basically, obtain a Ditto with 6 IVs or 5 IVs. This part is going to be a little bit more difficult. I think that if you have watched streams or if you have an old one from your old game, I would recommend that you just transfer that old Ditto, simply because when you transfer him, basically you're going to save yourself a big hassle of having to get a perfect 6 IV Ditto. And basically, if you're holding both of those items on both of those Pokemons that you put in the Pokemon nursery, you're gonna have a more lucky chance of actually getting good natures with your Pokemon. And that's pretty much the things that you want to do. You want to get good natures with your Pokemon. So I haven't been able to capture a Ditto right now in this area, but eventually, if you're in this area, you're gonna be able to capture in one if you don't have one from your previous games. But basically, the better IV stats that you know that Ditto has, it's the better thing. Now, the Pokemon nursery is in Flormora. It's in Salacian Town. I'm sorry, I don't mean Flormora. I keep forgetting, for some reason those two cities, I get them mixed up. It's in Flormora Town. And you're gonna want to go ahead and it's in Salacian Town, I'm sorry. And this old man will give you the egg, and you can drop off the egg with, you can drop off the Pokemon with a Ditto that you want to breed to this old lady, and she'll charge you some kind of money for you to leave the Pokemon. But yeah, if you got those items, the most important items, I just want to rehash everything. The most important items are definitely Everstone to pass over certain stuff like the IVs, or a similar amount of IVs from the parent Pokemon, or the Destiny Knot that you're gonna want to transfer, like natures and stuff that you can get. I definitely recommend you get these 2 items if you're gonna be looking into competitive breeding. And then Marcargo, so if you want to carry 5 eggs at a time, the Flame Body will definitely help you. And then there's so many different routes that you can go around in the game and hatch a Pokemon. You can go into Fernworks, and there will be a little trick there that if you hold the joystick, you'll be able to actually get one of those as well. Another item that I will recommend later on, another thing that I want to mention about the Dittos is that you preferably, if you're looking to breed shiny Pokemon, I recommend that you highly get a Masuda Ditto, which is a 6 IV Ditto as well with the nature that you want. But the reason you want to get a Japanese Masuda Ditto is because if you get a Ditto that's shiny and it is the Masuda one from Japan on the OT, you will get an increased likely of getting more shiny Pokemon eggs that you breed. So getting a Japanese 6 IV Ditto is something that you may want to look forward to getting, because if you do that, you'll be able to get a higher chance of getting shiny egg Pokemon that you breed. So any egg that you breed will most likely have a higher chance of being shiny, and this is a favorite method by a lot of shiny hunters in Pokemon games, because they like to do that so they can increase their shiny rates faster. And of course, if you complete your Pokedex, you get the shiny charm. It just increases it more, giving you a chance of obtaining a shiny Pokemon easier at the Pokemon Center. Also, the other little thing that I forgot to mention was definitely that the Ditto that you choose also can be the natures that you pass down. So depending if it's Brave, Adamant, or whatever Ditto you get, you can also have an increased chance of passing over the nature that you want to have on your Pokemon. So that's one thing that you have to consider when you get a Ditto, what kind of nature you want to pass down to your egg Pokemon. Another thing I wanted to mention is how can you have moves to transfer over to the egg Pokemon that hatches. I will give you guys an example how this will happen. For example, if both of the male and female Pokemon that you have has a move called Iron Tail, if both of them have it, they will then pass down into your Pokemon, or by leveling it up, or eventually at some point it will pass down to the egg to the Pokemon that hatches. So If they both have that same move, certain moves will indeed pass on over to your egg Pokemon. As for TMs, if the father Pokemon has a TM that is learned that is able to be learned on the first evolution of that Pokemon, you will also be able to automatically get that TM for that Pokemon. So if you taught your Charmeleon, Charizard, or whatever dig, it's most likely that the baby Pokemon or the first evolution will be able to actually get that TM as well. Now, it won't work for every single TM, but it might work for a couple of TMs. Another way that you can pass down certain moves like to a Pokemon, I will give you an example. You can pass it, like, let's say a different Pokemon has a move like Wish, and then you want to get it to your Eevee. You can actually pass it down in a way. For example, you have the Wish move that you want to pass down to an Eevee. Now, it may not be compatible with a certain Pokemon that you're breeding with. So if your Pokemon that has Wish will not be compatible just with Eevee by putting them in the Poke Nursery, but if you pass it down to a Pikachu, and then that Pikachu gets Wish, you'll be able to breed that Pokemon because it's compatible with Eevee, and then you'll be able to breed a Eevee with a Pikachu with the move Wish, and then after that, if you start breeding a Pikachu and an Eevee at the same time, you will be able to actually get a move like Wish on your Eevee Pokemon that is going to hatch, because that Pikachu had it. You'll be able to transfer it on over to the first evolution of that egg that you hatch. It is kind of confusing, but what I'm basically trying to say, a different Pokemon breeding with a Pokemon that are compatible and they want to transfer a certain move to that other Pokemon egg, and then that egg that hatches will be able to transfer it to your Eevee that you're going to be breeding with, and then the other Pokemon that you're going to be breeding it, and then down passing that Pokemon egg that hatched from the other Pokemon egg down to the last Pokemon that you want to get, the Eevee that wants to learn. You want to get it passed down to it. Now, it is a little bit complicating to understand, but in simple terms, they have different baby daddies, and then eventually baby daddy will pass it down to somebody else. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of confusing, but that's basically what I'm trying to say. From a different Pokemon to breeding a Pokemon, and then that breeding Pokemon going into the other one. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Alright, so the final thing that I want to show you guys is how to actually hatch the eggs a little bit faster in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The thing I recommend to do is go to Flamora Town and then head over to Route 205. And once you're in this route right here at Route 205, this is basically going to be kind of like the joypad stick trick that we have had in different games, where basically you put like a quarter or a rubber band underneath the control stick, and then you let it work itself by itself, and it keeps doing the same repetitive process, so you don't have to be checking up on your Nintendo Switch, and you can have like 5 eggs hatching there. You still have to pay attention when the egg hatches, but you'll be saving a lot of time and hassle simply because you will be hatching it automatically. So the way that I personally do it, I head over into this area, and it's kind of confusing at first, and I still get confused to it to this day, but we keep looking around, and then I eventually find the area where I personally do this. So yeah, it takes me a little while. Just be patient with me, but it's in this area basically. So let's go ahead and try it. I think we have to go through here. Actually, no. Yeah, we have to go through a different area. And it's one of the longest tiles, the one that gives you the opportunity to do it the most, because some of them don't really give you that much movement. So I think it's through here. Alright, so let's continue going through the tiles. Oh yeah, it's through there. It's that little room area right there that you guys are seeing. Hopefully I'm able to go back there. As you guys can see, it takes a little while, but anyways, this is the repetitive process that we do right here. So this is what I do, and then you just hold down the button. I don't recommend you have max repels like I do, but I just hold down the joystick and then I run back. You can do it both ways. Actually, you have to hold down the joystick. Sorry about that. And you can either manage to put your D-pad button down or whatever option you prefer. But anyways, you can keep doing this and you can have a lot of different Pokemon eggs in your Pokemon party. I also recommend you have a Pokemon with flame body armor equipped. That way you won't really have that much issues. Sometimes supposedly a Pokemon with flame body armor reduces like a half of the steps that you're gonna have to take for that Pokemon egg to hatch. So you can carry 5 of them, or you can carry up to 4, I believe, Pokemon eggs, and as long as you have that marked cargo with the flame body ability, you'll be able to hatch them pretty quick. Now, many people don't prefer this method; they just prefer doing the other methods. But you know, it's up to your personal preference. I think 5 eggs at a time hatching in like 10 minutes, or the game doing it all by itself, and doing all the counting and all the steps. It doesn't really take that long, especially since you're not doing anything. If you're putting the rubber band down on your joystick controller, your Joy-Con, your Pro controller, whatever controller you want, just find a way to make that joystick stand down and that it doesn't move. And that's pretty much all you do. And that pretty much covers all the tips. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.